Welcome back, friends. Today I am super excited to be sharing with you a tip on how to use Canva's new bulk create to create your weekly planner pages in less than 5 minutes. This is something I spent hours, days, weeks, months creating my planner pages. This is my planner from last year. And honestly, this took me such a long time to create because I wanted to create weekly pages on 2 pages that I could write my notes on and just look at a glance from week to week. So this is my first weekly page in January. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday appear on the left side, and then I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday appearing on the right side. And when I created this planner, I decided not to date it and to date it manually so I could write in the dates. Somehow I just didn't have the energy to go through and write or figure out the dates in this planner. But today, with Bulk Create and Canva AI, we're going to create our 52 weeks in less than 5 minutes. So let me show you how. And by the way, please, if you learned anything in this video or you like this video, press that like button. I promise that you will learn at least one thing today in this video. All right, so we're going to get started. And this is my template for last year. You're going to notice it says 2025, my goal getter planner. And we're going to come to file. We're going to make a copy of this because I don't want to affect my original planner. And what I want in this template is I just want those weekly pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete everything except for my weekly pages. So I'm just going to select from here to here, and I'm going to press my delete button, and then I'm just going to delete everything else. This is what's the easiest for me. All right, so I've got 2 pages left. So let's go back to our workspace. Here we are. And I've got my left side, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I've got my Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So when we look at these 2 templates, and unfortunately with Canva, we can't look at these side by side, so I have to alternate between my left side and my right side. We need to look at this and say, okay, what are we going to replace on this template? And the first thing is I want to change the year to 2026. Remember, this is my template. I can repeat 2026 on all 52 weeks, right? And if we look on Monday, I want to actually put the date in this little shape right here on the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a copy of Monday. I'm going to duplicate that. And in here, I'm just going to put a number sign. And I'll just make that a little bit smaller. And I'm going to move that over here. And then I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller to fit right in that square. And I'm going to take a copy of this, so I'll duplicate it and I'll move it over here, just trying to be sure to line it up. I'll make another duplicate, and there's the other one. I'm going to copy all 3 of these. So I'll press Control C, and I'll come down to my second page, and I'm going to paste them, and they appear to line up perfectly. So I'm happy with that. Let me just take another copy of that, and I'm going to bring that right down here into my Sunday. Now, the other thing that I want to do is I want to be able to put special occasions or holidays in here as well. So I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to grab some text, and I wasn't able to do this last year because it would have been like just too much work for me. And if you're wondering, I'm a visual person, and I just like to have a planner that I can plan my week and everything that I'm going to do. So I'm just going to make this a little bit larger. Maybe I'll make it a 14 point. And when you're creating your text for your holidays, just make sure that you've got it spanned all the way across your column, because you don't want it being broken up if it's shorter or less wide like that. So you want to span it all the way across your column. I'm going to duplicate that and I'm going to put it over here. Now it doesn't matter what's in here. It just needs to be like a placeholder for the text. So that seems to be lined up. So I'm just going to take a copy of all three of these. Control C, and I'll come back down here and I'm going to paste them, and I'll take one more copy and I'll place this here under Sunday. Now for this I have the text centered, but you can do it any way you like. You can bold it, you can italics it, whatever you like. So on that note, maybe I actually will do this in italics like that. And I'll do this one in italics too. All right, so there it is like that. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to create our data. And with the new Canva and the new bulk create, we have the option to use what's new, the Canva sheets. So if we come down here to the arrow where it says add a page, right on the right side, there's an arrow. If we click that, there's a new option that's part of Canva Suite. It's called Canva Sheets. So I'm going to click that, and that is going to create a sheet in my Canva design. And when I click edit, this is what we're going to get. And it looks very, very similar to Excel or Google Sheets. It's kind of the same concept. So we now need to go ahead and we need to fill in our data. And I'm going to start off in column A1, and in here I'm going to type year. Next I'm going to type month. In my column C I'm going to type in Monday. In column D I'm going to click Monday note, Tuesday note, and so on. Okay, so now that I've got that done, let me close this panel here so we can see the whole row. Now that I've got that done, I'm going to start off with 2025 for the month. I'm going to type December, because I want to have the last week of 2025, and then I'll also want to have the first week of 2027. So that's why I have 2025. And if I take a look and see, based on a yearly calendar, I can see that the last week of December starts with the 29th of December. Tuesday is the 30th, Wednesday is the 31st, then Thursday is the 1st, and so on. Now on this week of note is Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be New Year's Eve, and Thursday is New Year's Day. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to type in one more of this pattern, because that's what I'm doing, is I'm trying to create a pattern. So I'm now going to type in 2026, and this will be January, and we'll type in, we'll continue with Monday, which is the 5th. And do we have any special observances in January? And we don't. We don't have any special observances during this week. I'm going to just do this one more time. So I'll take a copy of that and I'll continue that pattern. And we're now on 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, let's see if we can get Canva to fill in the rest of the cells for us. Now remember, we need 52 weeks, plus we have 1 week for 2025, and then we have 1 week for 2026. That means in total, we're going to need 54 rows plus the heading, which is 55. So let's come all the way down here. We have 50 rows. What we're going to do is we're going to add a couple of more until we get to 55. And here we go. We have 55 now. Let's come back up here. And what we're going to do is we are going to select all of the cells that we need entered by Canva. So I'm just going to select all of them and come all the way down to the bottom, row 55. And I'm just going to drag this down. And let's just make sure we've got everything selected. Okay, so once we have all the cells selected that we want to automatically fill in, we're going to come up here to where it says Actions. And we're going to scroll down until we see Fill Empty Cells. We're going to click that. And it's going to do its thing. And then we're going to insert all of those cells. Now, keep in mind that this isn't perfect. You still have to go ahead and check to make sure that everything is correct according to, you know, the calendars that you're using and the area that you're in, making sure that any holidays that are local to you are filled in accordingly. So you'll have to go through everything and just make sure that it is correct. Now it has stopped at June, but what we're going to do is, and you know, this isn't perfect, let's go ahead and let's do it one more time and see if we can get it to fill in the rest of the cells. Again, we're going to go to Actions and we're going to say Fill Empty Cells. And it stopped at November, so that's okay. We'll just keep doing this until we get to the end of the year. All right, so here we go, and there is our first week there, January of 2027. All right, so now that it's completed filling in the year, the month, the days, and any special occasions, you now have an opportunity to just go through, and if you want to add more days, you could go ahead and add more occasions, is what I mean, to the columns. But it's now time to connect our data with our template. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select January, or the month, and everything else. I don't necessarily need the year. That was helpful to populate the data, but I don't need it for my template because it's pretty much all 2026. Now that we've selected all of our data, we're going to come to actions, and we're going to select the bulk create option. Now you want to make sure that everything, all the rows and cells are selected properly. So now is your chance to make any changes if it didn't select a column that you needed. This is fine. I'm going to say continue. And now you get to choose your template. And because I'm already working in my template, I'm just going to select that. So now I'm going to come on over here. The first thing that I am going to merge with my data is the month. So I've selected the month, and I'm going to connect the data, and I'm going to connect that with my month data. Now we've got the days of the week, and we've got the date of the week. So I'm going to select that number symbol. I'm going to come to connect data, and I'm going to select Monday. And then for the note, I'm going to come back and say Monday note. And I'm going to continue with the days of the week. Now that I've done my first page, I'm just going to click on my second page and continue with Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right, it's now time for us to go over to advanced options. Under advanced options, you get to choose the saving options. Now, obviously, we don't want 54 individual designs. That would defeat the purpose of us creating our weekly planner pages. We want them all in one design. So I'm going to actually change it to multiple pages in one design. And you have the option to select where you want to save that. So now is your chance to choose a different folder, or you can actually create a new folder if you wanted to. But I'm just going to leave it in my projects. I'm going to come down to the bottom here, and it's now time for us to see Canva Bulk Create in action with Canva AI. So I'm going to click that purple button to create my planner design. Now it'll take about a minute or so, and then what you're going to get is it's going to come back to your worksheet, and in the next column it's going to provide you with a link to that design. And you notice that there was that little bit of a pop-up on up top here, but we can just create one of these links, and it will take us right to the planner for us to review to make sure that it created it properly. Now you'll notice that my December got truncated onto the next line. So when you're doing this, just a note that you'll want to just extend your text as far as possible, just to make sure that you can actually get all of that text in there. If we scroll over, we can see that January did fit. But let's take a look at the planner pages. So here we've got Wednesday the 31st, and we got New Year's Eve. We've got January. We've got February begins. We've got Valentine's Day, and it's entered in all those special occasions. Now, if we go over to grid view, we can see that we do have 108 pages. That's because we've got 52 weeks. Plus we have the last week in December of 2025 and the first week of January 2027. So I think it's done a pretty awesome job, and this is something that I would use over and over and over again. Now, if you'd like to receive a copy of the planner, maybe you want to take a look at the shortcuts, how I created my sheet, or maybe you just want a shortcut of the Canva sheets that you can create your own planner and with your own template, I'm going to leave the link in my first comment and you can pick it up from my shop. So let me know, like, what do you think of this bulk create using Canva Sheets and Canva AI? Is this something that you would use? Is this something that would save you time? What do you think? Did you learn anything in this tutorial? Let me know in the comments what you thought of this tutorial, and if this is something that you would use. If there's something else that you want to see in a tutorial, let me know that as well. And if you want to join my live classes, ask me how and I'll let you know. Okay, my friends, for now, I'm going to say bye-bye. Until next time.